welcome to Zwap podcast. As usual, we are with the usual suspects. Sammy Fever
and Tomaeza.
And Tomaeza, my big brother.
Yeah,
as you know, for those people who doesn't understand Zwap, this is loosely translated in the township. When you do Zwap, when you say Zwap, it's like everything. You encompass everything.
But
But
when it's funny to me before. Why did you dread? Man, I've never seen you smoking an African herb, my brother.
I've got a little bit of respect for the African herb.
Okay.
Loosely so one way too, but I think it's very powerful.
Well, no, it's weird. We eat them paper. Why we chew some paper? Yeah. One cup. I take a patch.
I think when it has none again asthma, it's serious. Asthma ya kasalibar monna variapi kapia. And kina go something twarelo. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm craving marijuana.
Yeah.
Sense of knowledge.
Mudimu just to be given
Right too,
Mudimu Urutu just to be given away. I will look at my video. Now it's to be the Clarissa too.
No, the Gapi, wow. Go play telling with one lady artist, Nelly Julia. That's for Lelis Fanesai. Artia, Nekitwa Protera, Gitali, Tabomoya, the man, Giladna DJ Mo Radio.
Men on the airwaves.
Men on the airwaves. That's for Lele Bitola radio station. So, and then, Atia Apple, ne, Aira Ko Numuhare, ne, and then Taisa Kamutaskamo, Punyale Subakamutase, Atia the peanuts. The peanuts are mint, are cannabis, aere, are mollo, rakela rumubo boti, rom 5, 6, ratswala, dipatamola, or the aroma, ibe kamuhar. Yes, it's by refana, efetabian. And now what then right to Samika come trend 10 to 15 years. Kina kwela something tshwarelwa me bra ya go utlwa re no mo serious ra roba molao evaya what is that in tatila tentes ne ke feel ngaro o bona batho ba twa mo industry ya di arts creative arts ba le ba di advert o bona di advert o bona batho ba diranga ba normal ba na le nzing ya kaira tatila teng ke go utlwa re no nko se sikele la sona tshwantse national anthem ke go utlwa gore nkareng kaira
no wonder so no wonder so Tasman was at Metro. Thanks for honoring our invite, Metro. Isan and Lerna, we are honored to have a man of your caliber, brother. And thank you so much. I'm thanking you for the work you have done.
Yes, sir.
You healed us, and people don't know you. They don't know what you've done, or whatever. There's a lot that they don't know about you. They know your work, but most of the people they don't know how to anymore. So I want you to just go in the beginning. Tell this person who doesn't know you, who is Tasman, Thabiso, Tsotetsi, right? People are claiming you. Are saying you were from Mamelodi. Baka si Mamelodi ba re ke mfana ro. Ba go mafimba re nya ke mosimane wa fa ro nafa. Ha re batla itse originally Tasman o tswa kae and between these two digatsepeditse Mamelodi le Mafikeng mo Tasman.
Most of the time ho ka shebella the olden day pictures tse nerdinka, and especially myself. You would see I would have an M this side and an M the other side.
Oh yeah.
Mamelodi to Mafiki.
Oh okay.
Yeah, Mamelodi to Mabatu.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a Pretoria boy. I was born, bred Kumafiking, Eko Kopitori, Mamelodi. Biano ngizwa go ka senya marofo biano. So growing up, I was this notorious lady.
You lie.
If my parents were not smart enough for banking sekakas, I possibly would have been a criminal, one of the worst criminals ever.
Ke be re bala ka wena, Joe.
Or o ke be ke sule, wa bona?
Ke be re bala ka wena.
So for Bone, it was a matter of we want this boy to be educated and we want to move him away from. I mean, banki steady boarding school, majita ne ban lata boarding school. But say defense, mole re champe defense.
O tsamaye le bona.
Ke tsamaye le bona, you know what I mean? So ba felleditse ba re ai ready ya se e mo khaufi e ba mo fitlhela a re mise khakalanyana ene na kwele ne isantsane le na kwele a mangope e le phodisane lo tlapara
Wa raka boots.
Boots ba o gata wa bona so beno no itse gore ei pianong ke mo territory
Bophuthatswana.
yeah ke mo territory engwe e different so pianong mindset has to change. So I think that helped me a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely from Pitori.
Okay.
Grew up Komafike.
Lutlwile is clear. Ba Mafikeng, utlile ko Mafikeng. A swalona. Nate tso tlhatswiwa.
At least I ke bo stout le na le dry clean.
Ba Mamelodi la utlo o tshabile ko Mamelodi a tshabisetswa bo stout. Right. O tlhatswe ka ta. Now this thing e re itse Thabiso Tsotetsi ka ona at Tasman.
Yes sir.
It's music.
Yes.
Now the love of music. Is that a ning and AG, how old were you and where were you? Were you still in Mamelodi or Mafiki?
Look, the love of music, I think there's no one who would say they don't love music. Olidla ka prenda fasi sham na idlala day in day out. Pela pina engwe le ngwe, you know. I knew about all the international your Marvin Gaye, Roberta Fleck.
Ya ene ke opela wrong. A o so mo next door na yo.
Ke o bona.
On camera. Singing in the wind.
Arsima ye pele bia.
Ah, ne ke motho nna ke le short girl.
O reng?
Nna ke le short girl. On camera. See me on the phone, yeah.
You don't come around.
Yeah.
So,
You don't come around. Yes.
So yeah, my cousin's father, LPs galore, you know, so music, I grew up around music, you know, but I never actually thought that I have it in me. So moving from Pitori to Mafikeng, I did gymnastics, sports, I was a sportsman. Gymnastics, soccer, cricket,
Karate.
Yeah, well.
There no raba to Mafikeng.
Now I started with that. Martial arts, I did it from Kopitori, you know. So I was a sportsman. So utengwe nekikena le energy
Komabana.
Yeah, komabana. Abon. Joe Masilo. Anale keyboard ngwenyane kana,
Keyboard Chwana.
Yeah,
Keyboard Chwana.
It's a pile Chwana ya.
Keyboard Chwana. Now fetching him da I hear a melody where it's hamikara. Hekitlokena ka kokota ngulu ke bula mnyako ke mfitlhala adlala this keyboard Chwana. Hey, that intrigued me. Hey, my man. And it was a 3-note kind of song. I've been trying to remember that song to date. You know?
Yeah.
Mara antuta that 3-note song. From there onwards, man, before I started gymnastics, just so that I can go to the music room there, get the piano, and then play, try and expand. So when I started trying to expand on that song, the back has bit. The back has bit. Come to high, we have a music room, marimba. Every time they're playing marimba, only piano, I'm going to the piano. I'm learning everything I know about the keyboard and so on and so forth, self-taught. Ever since then, it was more of playing by ear. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, here it is, and then how to play chords. Dolamo also helped me when it comes to playing chords. You know, he would come, Kara Aria, no, this chord is so, and ever since that, everything else was by ear.
There are people at home. People don't know, you know, now it's orgasmic for me when somebody starts talking about that musical lingo.
Yeah, man.
Kamona chumiaka, Tomaeza. How chords are? Oh, nan agro koto dia biri thing.
Ah, ke paja itu video. Orang di paja tadi apolo saja.
That koto when alungo high. It's a combination of notes. Have the sharper ones. Get chord.
Kena black lewu. Yeah, ni zamale.
Zamale.
So that then it went on then, eh?
Yeah, man.
Then there is this thing now. The big thing, yeah, motswako. Right? Akere, the saying, it's wakai, it's omafiki. Right? It's okomafiki. So again, there's a lot of people who are claiming this thing, yeah, motswako. No, it started by me. Hey, I was part of it. Hey, what. Others, they mention you. Others, Tasman, no, we create mahari because of so and so and so. You know your group, you'll mention them. Barba itimba motswako. Kimang one car and nelele
It's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
To answer that question. Let's go back slightly.
Yeah, let's go.
Even before you beg you, like what over the nice. Why didn't tell me okay analyst, yeah politics, okay a medical guru. When I look all up, this man in front of us, he's a musical and award-winning musical producer of note. Raut is can a producer or producer. And what I'm marking, I'm okay. Let's get the no. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Trading back, radio pop. Predominantly, we were given more of international stuff before it was starting Ari Talohanya musically, you know?
Yeah.
Chris Cross, make it up, jump.
Yeah, jump.
Those were our influences, you know?
Yeah.
A whole lot of other old school music. And we're still young, we can do what these guys are doing. And we did exactly that.
MCM. Yeah.
Zwap, you know what I mean? Until hostata honnali di rap competition ko mabana. Ogiso abastatar ebe huwiniwa Morafi won I think the first rap competition by Wina Katara. Akizo by
Morafi Cooley,
it was Cooley, Toady Mac, KG, the Momulimi.
And I see recorded that time.
I see it's the same. But this is where everything started to change. Now at that point in time, I'm already starting to compose. Now we jumped certain stages.
Yeah.
So Koskela, Oledi Salar Monar, Oledi Baile keyboard. About do well at school, I'll buy you one. She bought me one.
Because you did well.
You did well.
Yeah,
because
mention it, man.
Hard do well. If you do well, Mamota regular keyboard.
Okay.
So do well at school, you'll get a keyboard. I got a keyboard. And then I was friends with my best friends. One of my best friends, Udi Ben Lulu. He had a sequencer.
Udi?
Yeah, Udi. Udi had a sequencer where you can compose your stuff and then it's a song, you can compose it, arrange it into that sequencer. Oledi, you go pump by the sequence. Same thing applied.
Do well at school.
You will get this. So we ended up being, I think, 4 of us. It was Udi who had a sequencer, myself, Khalemo, and then the late Arthur John. Yeah.
The late Arthur John, the late Arthur John.
Yeah.
When I get his name.
No,
the late Arthur John.
Arthur John is late. He used to also produce Polebo Matosa from back in the days.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, from doing that, the rap competition, Bogiso Abare, no more utilizing international instrumentals. Anyone and everyone who's going to be a part of the rap competition must come with everything 100% original. Authentic, yeah, authenticity. Why?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you take an instrumental that is popular, automatically, hey, instrumentalist that boom, the crowd is going backward.
Yes.
So automatically you are influencing the people.
Oh, yeah?
So if you come with your own individual,
They
unique
listen.
something, then they want to hear what is what, and then so from there onwards, Pogiso got me standing in the crowd saying, there's a beat maker, there's a guy who makes beats and he makes amazing beats. I am it. Now in the crowd there, I am Siwa. If you want beats, original beats, go to that man.
The guy did dreads and
At that point in time, Kikenas girl am fit. And by the time Kitro Emiswanda, I think I'm about 15, 16 at the time.
Okay.
Oh
yes.
So I couldn't. And look, Lady Dreads didn't stories as
Yeah,
I will explain it
no
properly
problem.
as well. So ever since then, a lot of people but for the beats. Kana, what was the question?
The group ya Motswako, yeah.
So now, from me being one of the main producers, it's a hip hop at the time, before we could easily call it Motswako, most of us started realizing the fact that we are rapping reusing Setswana. Now it was slightly difficult for to transform from the English way of to Setswana, you know. You know what I mean? So it was slightly then crowded crew, because there was Dilang.
Dilang, yeah. A lot of bit mass. Kick out one kick kana kana kemang kick
All the orla olderly
ki khotmana bona ya ki lately
ke Seboka ke Motsa
yeah
ke KB Mutsilenyana.
aha
so batle ka Dilang ke lingua ya kai ya ko
Mafiki.
So Dilang was also a genre on its own, but following that, you are basically trapping on somebody's style, you know. So Dilang was also Setswana, mara Setswa kan tshitswe ka mokgomo.
Yeah.
And then from bo Dilang teo, and then ebe go tlola tella bo prof. Bo prof, which was Bafitli.
Bafitli le
I want Bafitli le blacksmithy, and then they did that. Now they were rapping proper ka Setswana, you know, even though English, right,
yeah.
And there you throw in. So, who started Motswako? I would easily say it's neither here nor there. We cannot easily say that one started.
It's one of the piano. No,
my piano is slightly different for me. That is, I would easily say LM Jam Yam Duma Silela from back in the days when I was still in high school was Amapiano. That's the original Amapiano. If you can go and listen to it even to date, go look for that album, LM Jam, Yam Duma Silela. That's Amapiano straight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Amapiano. Look, music is like fashion. It goes out of fashion and comes back.
Yes.
It comes back depending on the certain elements that you add to it. Then it revives it for the time. You know what I mean? So I think Amapiano back there come round. So when it comes to Motswako, pointing to say K o Oistatiling, the only difficult, actually it's difficult to state who started it and how and who. It only matters who released an album nationally before anybody else, or who got the opportunity to release and be known by the public.
And again,
I would easily say Crowded Crew and Bafitli. Crowded Crew was Dilang mostly, Bafitli was Setswana rap, which is what we call Motswako. So between the two, who do we say it is? And from there onwards, there was Stone, who was part of Bongo Muffin, who brought in Motswako within
Bongo Muffin style, yeah.
You see, so then who started it? It's a very difficult one to say. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you want to what's our Bianca Humpian Olefa, ne? I want to say to you, wow, Rebecca was Kibatlo wena utlile utlile ke batlo fast forward jana gore ke tso ntsi mo circus itseng mo tsweng mo se re tshuletseng sona gore ke ma gore ke mototso mo feng o ke re ba o bone nkile ba o emisa tsilela ba re mothako ke ena itseng ba bone o na le sequence a kere o ira di beats but wena gore because batho ba ntse ba itse gore ha ona sekolo se ba reng re motho re o ithutela go nna motlhagisi producer rot wena ke wa se bone o batlo ba modirahatsi, an artist, and you mainly featured the way we know you as a producer. What happened, or who told you that you can be a producer?
To be honest with you, nekile modirahatsi.
Okay.
I was a performer. I was a rapper myself. And I rapped. I produced a couple of albums of mine. Unfortunately, I wasn't stuck on one genre of music. Negeta hip hop, okay, it's a house, it's a Afro pop, okay, it doesn't matter. As long as it's music, it's gospel, is this, is that, is that. So I had done 3 albums of my own. I had my own album, which was hip hop. I had another album which was house, and another album which was Afro popish bongo muffin style kind of something. Right one? And the hip hop one was hip hop kwaito as well. It was a bridge between hip hop and kwaito. And then I worked on a Morafe album. And then I worked on a Metswako album. There's a group called Metswako. It's 2 violins.
Instructed by who that time?
By myself.
Okay, but a record company can commission a group, and then after a group, Barmara Narbatlo identifier, or relevant produce, then Bao identify. So in this case.
In that case, because we were struggling, I was struggling to get somebody to produce for me. I decided I'm gonna produce for myself. That's number one. Number two, I got an offer to go work at a studio in Cape Town. Worked there, I stayed in Cape Town, I think 98, 99, 2000, and possibly 2001, the earlier days of 2001. Met TKZ there, worked with a whole lot of Mike Manijane, one of the best engineers. And then
TKZ, go Cape Town.
Yes, TKZ was recording in Cape Town with Mike Manijane.
Okay.
I know Mike Manijane because he's one of the dopest producers and engineers. So I learned most of my engineering skills from Mike Manijane. On my side, I was one of the dopest creators.
Manijane.
Manijane Kimu Xhosa.
Okay.
Xhosa.
Okay.
Yeah, I won. So from Cape Town, I thought to myself, you know what? I've heard the rappers that go Cape Town. Most of the rappers that go Cape Town, but we are science fiction, man. Hey, look at the space, like my man. I do not relate to what you're stating. You know, relevant lifestyle. I already had bought myself. Now I'm clued up. I worked with Frank Paco. Frank Paco was a drummer for Jonathan Butler. So I met Jonathan Butler through Frank Paco, who was a drummer. So in Cape Town, I learned a whole lot of different things. You know, I came back with proper skills, thinking, yeah, I'm capable of doing 1, 2, 3. So when I left Cape Town, I said, I have studio equipment. My aunt left me a flat, go Khatolo Heights.
Yes.
That's where I started Impact Sounds. So I started my own record company, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna knock at anybody's door. I'm gonna do this thing my own way, by myself. And then I started Impact Sounds. Impact Sounds had Makajusi, had Lobenza, had Morafi, and then I started working with WHP because I had met WHP while I was still in high school. He was friends with Tolamo. Tolamo brought him to school. I got to meet him when he was out there with his first album. I had not worked with him. So as time went, when I went back to Mafikeng, that's when we reconnected.
By then he's known as a brand.
Yeah, by then he's known. I guess the first album was produced by Chico Twala.
Yes.
Yes, he was signed.
Wow. I did not know.
Yeah. And Chico can show me how.
No, Chico, I'm playing.
No, he was signed to Chico, and the first album was released by Chico. Actually, yeah, the first album, Bali Group, man. Bali Group, relevant, Verbal Assassins.
Yes, Verbal Assassins, yes.
Yes, and then from Verbal Assassins, about to release Alawane, Mafikeng, and so.
We released Selemang Mafikeng.
I think Lichi.
And
then with CCP. And then from that one, that's when CCP was also Ikobaje.
Yeah.
Now at that time, Nago Studio Ngisteke recorded the album so.
On only tracks,
got tracks for days, you know. Beatmaker then was scoring backstage. It was still called backstage. He was scoring backstage.
Backstage enele drama ya TV. Wow, le repeats papa. Le sate le mo zwile. Repeats.
Fitla studio. Studio bamlelo re una le ntwana engwentswe mbublaini o produce are ba motlise go studio. A fitla go studio alwale da man. Alwale my house album plus and he used to produce house albums. Outwelle my house album he went back wild. Outwelle the hip hop album.
Lwa like ora hore atlhakatlhakane a sharakane. Yeah.
dilo tse di tswa mo, bjang, you know? He had direct contacts to Lance. Ansale mola phonele Lance, Lance, you don't know.
He's the man.
There's someone. And only to find this guy is there on a
Friday.
Friday.
Nagirata Thursday.
Yeah, Friday.
Nagirata Thursday.
Friday.
It was a Thursday.
It was Friday.
The morning of.
It was Friday. Yeah.
So, Lamane Arne Inking Arjo, I have to take your music.
Josian.
Yeah. So now,
What's happened there?
copyright.
No, listen.
Yo,
Okay.
hey, musician have funny kadi beats
Bafana veana.
So
Hey.
I thought to myself, since Kitlo Mufa this thing, no, it's fine. I'll give you. So every copy of CDs, take it I'm
We
writing
rejected two.
Two of each. Ke fetsa mo ke tseatse ke a kwale ko di mailela tunna. I'm taking and then I'm taking that thing ke bya ko di mo o drop ora gore should he bite any of my songs, I'm gonna take that.
O ya go kula nteng.
It batla ibula ko khoto ke re ko khoto ke re kiye date is santsane le ka mkhole sealed like so ibuli into ever since ke mo fa yone. I mailed it to myself, so if one knock kwa ke re nna ya ka kiye
ba khona tla difference ke ba utlwele dust ya hore ke a khalo.
So that's
budget.
exactly what I did. Kamofa ayakolanse only to find the following week on a Wednesday we were coming to Josie Le Metwako, the group enabling a violinist, a viola player, and then two ladies, Baba. Ostebs are the bassist.
Yes.
The bassist was part of Metwako.
And now we fell le job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was signed to me back then.
Sure.
I want on as Metwako. So ever since Kitla chose, Lansam Fonela, hey Mona, I've listened to your songs in King. I love your music. When are you coming to Josie? Actually on a Wednesday. Fonela the next week, Monday. Actually on Wednesday we coming to Josie. Ever since I came to Josie, I became a Joe Burger to date.
Ne, since Lance.
Since
And wa mo Lance ha rata motho o itse yang.
yeah, onnamo.
Ba re ke ba mothakola tswang tronkong wa mo iretseng music. Ke mang? Is it strong when you work mang?
Wamzulu.
Wamxhosa. Ba re ke mang? Nathi.
Nathi.
Ko di sameng. Ko sa di ho bua ka Lance. Ka mkhwaleng passionate ka se. Ko di sameng. Re ntse re ja breakfast. One kitse from TV and radio. Kutlisa music wa Nathi. At this minute going. Why do Lance ha ba tlo hodisa wa hodisa?
100%.
Wow, Lance.
He's very passionate.
Yes.
He loves what he does, and he's very passionate. He wants people to feed off of the energy of what he has.
Jesus.
Go do something. What's music? Music and a lot of people don't understand or keep beats what I think. It's not just something saying.
Bargingo.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah.
Music beats.
Yeah.
It's not something saying was a jumpela fella and then I can just do that. It will swing up until you do something about it. And that's why you asked the question earlier on, and I don't you push your career up until you feel more stop.
Before it mo setting ke botsa tezore na re teze ke bona o sa tlhelo tlhahella mo spacing sa music o re bona jeba maybe tla re ka artist ya hao kana go efetsa e kholo efetsa o tsama mo lebatseng o kra disconnectile or wena bophelo ba o burile ke mmutso re mara how do you live with yourself without being in the space?
He says
you know what, there was a point in time where I thought to myself, I'm going to sell all of my studio equipment. I'm going to attend that studio in one of the bedrooms in my house. I couldn't. Salega se paka ka se puta ka repainted the whole room ka irang ke makete ke na ileng na bana busi
O di busetsa.
Ke di busetsa ke dintsha from the other side, packing them, repacking them back. Ka mole he fetso di repacker. He ke seno ke re khatlang khotenyana tse pedi tse tharo. Ku utlwe mmele o tsitsiba.
Nkosi sikele.
You know what I mean? Because it's music wa o tsosa. Wa o tsosa e tla lla pine mo
Yes.
ya hao.
Yes.
E tla renga pinele, and if you do not wake up at that point in time,
Yo nyamela. Ke tla le ke bolella batho.
yona ya nyamela yo.
Ke le go bolella batho music wa utlwa pina ya hao ne, and then host na mo kai ba e beang. O tla o tlo bolella batho ra head a hit ba tlo ngare wa tsena.
No. This is what happened to me. Ke etse pina. E ke fetso etsa pina ke di pakella na go ke santsane ke spana album ya Zola. Ke etse
Wow, wena.
Yes.
Guys, this man, Zola 7. Now I'm starting to know today. Oberekile le Zola 7.
Don't Cry on TV on Zola 7 live on TV. Kina go ne retsa Don't Cry. We did Don't Cry. That whole album, Bambata, the best-selling album ya Zola. The two best-selling albums tsa Zola. Ditso mo matsogo.
Bolella mothaka o le ba ba sa itseng. Tsala, wa itse re lanseng ke la tsanna le nna yana. Am polella re Zola. Gore ba mmitse Zola 7. Nkile a nna le 7 million. And di chelete. Anna le di ntluking tse 7 or something. Or marna bua lo tsa le tsona. Artist gore ba mmitse Zola 7 it's nomoro fela.
It had 7 different kind of
Di phitlhello tseo. So wena o teng le wena da. Ladies and gentlemen, take into potential. O na le million nyana mo. A re utle job ya. Yes.
So ke spana album ya Zola ke ntse ke pakellana le dipina ra Clio a tle go studio a fufila e mona yo o tlile the new single ya Kabelo ke ra ne ke so you andlalle yo ha idlala dai track so ka mo ke re producer ke mang ar ke Kofi
Go pilan.
Yeah, go pilan. Oh. Rastenberger.
So ke mamela yi now I'm trying to remember, have I ever played Goofy my music? No.
No.
Ke le ka kopana ka ile Goofy?
No.
Nah, nowhere. Inki Clio. This song sounds exactly like the song I produced. Arawak.
Yeah.
To the key. To the key. To the drum rhythm. To everything. Clio, what? Lina, I was just as shocked. Only to find, sometimes things happen. Only to find that we're gonna be front page here, the Star, as the best producers of a decade.
I saw.
Yeah, now to go with something. Can take it about to carry destiny, call it destiny or the powers that may be. Honor something more. It can na and at nowhere any other sort. Ne? How say Osabe Simmo one Nike? Just do it. Oto utwa samoto utwa ngarwa tsane because
Or we wanna somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, modimo ya o hasape o so. And osa iberekis. Yeah.
Now when more the guys that you produced for, ne? Or the music that you made. Ki e thing the album carrying like yeah. I work myself. Even I would say Lelo Raya Bereka the way maybe I receive the way when I know about like a thing, but
it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to state such. Reason being, I work with artists of different calibers, different statures, different skill sets. You know, most of the artists for me this is one thing that DJ Fresh once said. He said, if there is a producer in South Africa who doesn't have a signature when it comes to songs,
yes,
it's me, because you would not pick up that I've produced for Mosa. You would not pick up that
Zola,
I've produced for Zola. I've produced for Unai.
House music.
I've produced for Proverb. I've produced for half the industry before 2015. Half of the industry comes from these hands. Most of them I've groomed them.
Black Mambas.
Now, when we go to that, I could easily say to you, there's a company called African Dope Music. For me to be able to buy my first studio equipment in Cape Town, I used to do drum and bass remixes of your Black Mambazo, your King Boletambule,
Mahotela Queen.
Mahotela Queens. All of those I used to do drum and bass, and they were only released in the UK. So home play like that thing is
Wow.
something that I did a long time
O
ago.
modi album ntsela ne di nna di ele di dance albums.
Yeah, LED dance albums, still more they are only released in when I started working with Ghetto Rap, African Dope still approached me, but Ejo, we still want you to do these things. Mara Spanale Land say, it's gonna be a problem. That's how it stopped. Mara at that point in time, Bamfile a couple of tracks, I think it was about 8 tracks. Taiwa Molelegwa, let's Kanakiman Philip Tabala.
Takatao.
I'm a bit me brass tagata. What's going on? Oberekile le bra Philip Tabang. Oh, one Mamelodi. You know, how did you feel? Oberekile le bra Philip. Kana Mamelodi produced bra Philip Tabani produced bar Don Laka.
Yes. Just
Vusi Matlasela. Wow. Guys, I didn't say are the Google.
No more.
Yeah.
So okay, can I the problem or gas is the music over chapeau very good come fait. There's the artists now. How many artists taking what is sign in your stable? Impact Sounds.
Sign in the stable.
And how many do you have now, if there's any?
I would easily say I've signed 10 plus of artists. Today I don't have even.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why Ellen can I question for it?
Yeah.
Maybe the why is a long story. Maybe
Okay.
ask that question.
Yeah. It would say question in what would say on. As Impact Sounds,
Yes.
it's a label stable sahau.
Yes, sir.
But the labels that kholo bo CCP bo Sony bo eng.
Yeah, man.
When no bo EMI bo Universal. When o really serve o ya o ba le contract le bon. Artist ya e ba le contract le wena. And then when o ba le contract le
Lebo.
and oh yes, ke batlo o itse the purpose being as a producer that time who release an album the artist how ka re ka Impact Sound or shorter ntela ne re bua le yona letsatsi le analyst ya rena ba re ke mishmalas ya tlaben money ya distribution ya printing
distribution,
publishing
Publishing
o ka ira publishing ya fine but so na tsego so why do I get mo o bone bana ba one meno ba ira chelete bang because if na le something se se rileng ke the government of the day but because that time it was no na le an act or no na le molao o fostang gore you can't release an album o le wena
as an independent.
independent no tshwantse o ye go bona.
But I think that law also ended then Kabo Brenda Fassi, Bo Rebecca Malo.
o ka wena no staying
Yeah,
start
Karona no stain tata because that's why I could have my own record company. TS Records would have their own record company.
Oh,
It's
Kalawa,
independent.
oh yes wena o bile bja while o tla mo question ba to butsa mothola nare nka se kana le ke company ne re ka se gono ba tlo bereka le wena mara ka re no na le lance ne ba ka se gone African Dope ne ba tlo butsisa is it a good idea for a budding producer or abe independent or abe assign le company
Look, I would easily say to any producer out there, Jorge, you can never attach yourself fully to any record company.
yes
You know,
yes
to any record company. What I did, I said, Lance, I'm not working for you. I'm working for myself. You are doing business with my company.
yes yes it must be like that
Lance
yeah
is doing business with Impact Sounds. I'm signed by Impact Sounds. Why? Because Thabiso Tsotetsi o signile Tasman.
yes
I'm wearing this.
ke batho ba bedi ya ke itse ke Sammy Fever le Samson Mashabane le Tomaeza Itumeleng Ramohali yes
So then that way is more like I'm signed to myself and my business is doing business with another business.
Wow.
You know, and that way it also allowed me to say, hey, industry ya rona ke non-censorship. Record companies need to kgona go kwalelana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, ke Sony mo inking arkwalele o kontle ke mamang mo inking so what I did was I made it a point of okay, ke spanale someone ke mo etsa superstar go Universal. Ke spana le someone ke
Ke
metsa
metsa superstar,
superstar
ko
ko
so-
kai. Ke spana le mang ke metsa superstar ko kai. Ke spana le artist tsa ka ke di etsa superstar mo Impact Sound. None of them are going to fight me because I'm aligned with all of them. What they
Oh,
do.
yeah?
Yes.
Kana ke spana ke mang ke Tasman o
Ke Tasman.
as Impact Sound.
Yes.
Ke Tasman o.
Tasman. Yeah, ke Tasman.
Wa ba irang?
O irang dilo tse
Impact Sound
tsohle.
kana o send le o la kwa.
Eh.
All right.
But they want to when a brand ya Tasman, but hello re ba starta utlwa ne ba kelo tlhoko.
Yes, sir.
If there is one artist osale a popularizer the brand Tasman, ki WHP.
WHP, most definitely so. But at the same time,
No
I would-
Tux?
No. I wanna
Okay.
Ibuela back to the question you asked, Hore, which artist? Zola mo di interlude in Zahai. It has outing cause a lapo.
Oh, yes.
Claro, Ostaibu. Why wanna write Huna Bafana Baba inking. Zola managed to also introduce Tux into the game just as much as he introduced Bravo, whom I produced as well.
Yeah.
Why want Zola introduced me as well. Why? Because Lance it's an album I listening session. Now that's where the name Tasso started running around. Pila, because after that listening session, Kiduti da Gintwananyana, I'm fucking 21.
Kaya Zola.
Yeah, I'm flipping 21 years old. Kiduti so Louis, all the radio gurus did that.
Yeah, sorry, when I listening session is so important after album reel because the artist is the producer. They
Okay,
live
Mona.
Bona is their songs
repeat
because they play them repetitively. Bona you can easily get misled where this song is gonna make it. Cantilor, you call the gurus in the music industry, but the journalists, Thabiso Entertainment, you call your DJs, the TV, whatever, and you play this
air presenters.
without even naming the songs,
Yes.
and they will vote to song number 1 or song number 2 is the
it's
one. Yes.
Song number 1. Song
You're
number
not listening session, eh?
I mean, they listened to that album first time. And then after that, Lance is like, yeah, so what are you saying? Nakwe, kitsuile ki kam karacheng kiduti so ke emetse gore ba mpolelle gore the album is a flop.
Eh.
Lance wa mfounela, where are you? I'm in the car, come in here. Huh? Ba shapile full blast ba no. Ba tseile dipampiri tsele ba di latlhetse kwa le bare. My man, this is a play these songs randomly.
All of them.
Keep peanuts a month.
The album
Yes.
I produced, the whole
Yes.
album by plaster, left, right, and center. Now, within that, Lanti, the press releases, the inking. My name is everywhere. You know what I mean? So from that album, that's when the name Tasso started popping. From there, Kamo Jeba Bamukoba
Ko CCP.
Ko CCP. Bankubile kontlung ka gore ne ba baka kana. When I sampled money,
Okay.
man, na bua ka CCP.
It was a real
Oh,
was
this can be.
So that song Leone ya tshwara track sheet. So kayike album ya Zola, kayike money he banna. Ya ga
He banna.
Now ba starta ba ditsebe di starta di emella ba no. Hey, who's
Producer Gamang.
Gazlam, the Gazlam album and the Gazlam, whole ability Gazlam, the scoring of the music there, Kinna as well. Thabiso Tsotetsi everywhere. Tasman, Thabiso Tsotetsi. Actually, it wasn't Tasman then. It was just Tasso. Thabiso Tsotetsi. Tasman came Gajeba. Tasman ole para mana. And he made it a point that Tasman name sticks.
Oh, nice one.
So Jeba Yene, he made it a point that every single song.
You were there. Correct, born. Let me now. Horikiti. Happens that you ba go station in Sesa Radio. Babu agawen. Maiza lite. Maiza we kateza njere kaizura we kateze omo. Uwa kaumu. Then kastada we zur. Oh, kateze ole WHP. Arepanka e.
I know Shemene. Jeba was a proud somebody to work with me, Shem. And then I be like, go to man in our hats and I go studio. When he hears a song he loves, he jumps up and down, left, right, and center. By the time he goes into the booth, Shem is something else. And it's the same thing in it's a halaka kazola. And it's funny how all the artists, most of the artists, they were feeding off of each other. you know. Zola Kayiso aetse pina aibitse 2.6. 2.6 is just Zola's voices. Naki just guide more key structure isn't known to so mara why beta yo. Mani ntombazana uyenza ngara maskhandinyana. Mani ntombazana fika bajijara. So it's an a cappella kind of song.
Give it like giving I eat. Okay.
So Jeva Hakena go studio ukena kara ankira ki mixa that song. From there onwards, go to Jeva yan. Iyo Jeva
Rechelaba. All right.
Rechela.
Yo Rechelaba. I don't get it. I love, tubele to atawale jela. Ah,
Nagi mager.
natate.
Nagi dra.
Waiting in it. One other thing I got to fire on ane. You are a good sampler. Producer enkile ka bone khono sampler. And o sampler, you know about Thabiso the Tavares. No one would ever even know the Tavares. Tavares. And you know to sampler imagination. Music and lights. Ta 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 ta. Why is it carryane? Mtaikin mtai. Ne mo ki mo
As a Tasman gimja.
Santane honale barking. He's leaving.
Leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Bafana mo studio nga ba yi?
Kita tuksinganga fana. Say hi to him, eh?
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. You come on, baby.
So I know her interview. It's your Lisa a lot of laugh. Bafana bye.
Yeah, man.
And then young girls out there. By the way, born at this thing.
Yes, sir.
What can you say to this young boy? Because you hear now others now are fighting over money and what. What would you say to him? You know, to protect himself and the talent of Wanga. Because now there's a lot of things, Montlem. As me saying, Horina Gong Coronel talent, one I boni, Ale Mohetan and die. Then they are fit. I can Mudimu Hasaso. You know, Ugari Muena to say, he has to talk to you guys or talk to the parents or I bone moena, I go back to, you know.
There's one thing that I will always state. Kana kotsarona. We didn't have internet. So we didn't have access to information. At this point in time, there's access to information everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go and how you. The minute you say phone, you have access to information, right? Discipline. You see, nothing grows without any disciplined space. Dedication. Formality. If you say, I'm doing this, be disciplined in it, be formal at it. A lot of people fail to understand the fact that your talent is the business, meaning you are the business. If you cannot take care of the business good enough, then the business can never take care of you.
You are the brand. You are the brand.
Yes.
Can it?
You see, that brand, for it to grow, it needs to be disciplined, because if I book you and say, please be there, and you disappoint me, I'm not going to book you again.
So, if
I book you to say, and at the same time is that most of them tend to focus on the money. Focus more on the craft.
First.
The money shall follow you.
Because this boy are utla bara Tasman are before I book you. I have a music more. Kena, it's good music, ushapo. But I can't. I'm trying to get it out there. But I can't. Go bugu aning. And I understood. o fitlisa bang music o mo tsebeng ya ka? Yeah.
You see, platforms are plenty.
At
At this point in time,
Yeah.
platforms are plenty. This is not the time for anyone to want a record company to sign them.
In number
This
one,
is the
yeah.
time for you to put yourself out there. You see, for as long as you have your phone, you can put that song into an MP3 format. You can make it a point that you push it as much as possible. You can learn to do these memes and these dances, do those type of things, post those type of things. You have friends. Charity begins at home. If you do not have 10 friends who can push your post and have other 10 friends of them pushing that, then what's hard?
Zwap,
You see,
Joe.
ntho e nngwe ke tseletsa bo ma jalaha o re o fetso jala o ne ba bang hape peo ya gore ba e jale ba itswelletse pele e nne e tswella fela yalo e tswelle fela yalo
Test. Yeah, no dipotso ke tse ntsi mara pele re e garela. Wa bona hona le genre e ba reng ke mapiano ke ra batho ke re that genre ina le potential ya o gola ka mo gonna ke e bona. Ke bone simolla fela e le diletswa instrumental fela then ya gola ya nna le di rap. So now of late ke bone it's any di vocals and ke ba stana until le ba magenta tsena. He ke lebeletse a ke tsore there is an artist mola ne o tswa le go harankoa. There's an artist there. Wamo is focalistic.
100%.
Yes. What do you think of that guy? Ke a itse na le bo Kabza, Esprite na le bo Maporis, ke tswa showing ya bo Maporis le bo Kabza. Ya the Kings,
Maloba, yeah.
Scorpion Kings.
Yes.
Na ne ke akanya gore bo letsa fela ne. Guys, wherever Maporis Kabza, what you did there, guys,
Aye.
it's exceptional. We'll get you to our
100%
studio.
full.
What you did there, yes, yes.
So
It's
does
show,
so.
by the show, show.
Yes.
Now what about ke batlo nna ke toro a rona mo na re batlo o tlhakantsha le focalistic something se gore why ke rana e rile ke utlwa ka mogomfano la aleng and ka bona motho ka se mo reproduce mara double HP le kopana ha o le ena ke bona o ka se latlhego ka kopana le mfano la ke itse why
Ntseni mo legano.
Yeah.
If you can look at my profile pic ya setshwantsho sa WhatsApp, that black and white profile pic behind me was Focalistic.
Let me go there.
wow
And Focalistic did the exact same thing that Jeba did. He listened to the song, braga yampe tapina. Ya bianong ya raina me.
Which one?
Behind me there was Focalistic.
When you,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's a long
wow man gore ka nnete ke na le gore e rile ke na le wena o bua ne ke na le mo lebella mfano
Mashabane
Ke
wa
ba-
bona.
ke ba boditse ka
Yeah.
ka re o tswa kae ba re zone 2 ba mpolella le hore ko tlapong la ntlha na ira hip hop and then batho ne ba re na kwala di verses good and wa bona gore ka mapiano o no latlhele one fela
Yeah.
and so ke bona lefatshe le mutswa ke bona se tsale ko kae le bo mama ko bo Nigeria ko bo kae which is good here for
100%.
for music wa rena le genre ya rona ne and ke a bona bo Maphorisa le bona ba ira Black Coffee did a wonderful job le ena ka hore expose and
yes.
but brag a ke itse gore somehow ke na le toro
So
ya ho
El
bona-
recorder, the track will come as Zwap just to say hore pono Mashabane we won Mashabane.
Ah, Duka
Ah, ra ba re guruguri. Ai, ira dilo tsa hore la e.
ya ho ashabata
Tasman, thanks a lot, my friend.
I know who intimates.
We learned.
Show,
I
my
think
brother.
we should come back sometime.
Most
But,
def. I
you
think
have-
we need more hours.
no
Yeah.
you know what hona le this year tlo batlelang yona hape you know within the music industry but it's not just being an artist because hona le how an artist must carry themselves maralo how should artists when they get involved with other people how should they secure their intellectual property things like those and I think you are more one or sharp
I know no. When it comes to the music space, there's no angle or Garengale.
yes
Number one. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at redlifetv.co.za. Email, I'm sorry. And then Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at redlife. Happy more YouTube, Zwap, Remo. Bye. Till next time.
Wait.
but